Hey guys, it's Kira and welcome to another vlog. It is currently Wednesday lunchtime. I think it's the 28th of October, so we are almost at Halloween, which is very exciting, and the weather definitely feels like it. At this current moment in time, it's extremely sunny, but today has been one of those autumn days where it is either absolutely pouring down with rain, as it was earlier this morning, or it's bright, sunny and glorious, and I absolutely love days like this because I feel like you get the best of everything. And it is definitely putting me in the autumn spirit, which I obviously love. So I don't often start vlogs on Wednesdays, but the beginning half of my week was very busy with yoga and work and all kinds of other things, and so I didn't really have much time for reading or filming anything that was worth watching. So I decided to start the vlog today. A little bit unusual, but who makes the rules around here? I do. So we're starting a vlog on a Wednesday and that is fine. I'm really excited because this is actually the second week of the Dark Academics Halloween Readathon. Last week I made it through Rebecca, watched the Rebecca movie adaptation and ticked off a couple of prompts all about reading gothic books, and this week my focus is going to be on the 2 books that we've actually picked for the book club this month. So those books are, in case you're not aware, The Phantom of the Opera by Gaston Leroux, and also one of my personal favourites, We Have Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson. I read this book for the first time last year and fell in love with it. I've seen a couple of the other girls reading vlogs and also reviews of this book, and I think it's going to be quite a divisive one to talk about because Lucy gave it only 2 stars and I know I'm giving it 5 stars 100% because I love it so much. So I'm really excited for the discussion of this book. But given the fact that I've already read this one, my priority going forward for the rest of the week is The Phantom of the Opera. This is only a short book. The text is relatively small, but it is less than 200 pages. So I'm hoping it shouldn't be too much of a challenge to get through this over the next couple of days. And then once I finish this, then I'm going to dive into my reread of We Have Always Lived in the Castle. But both of these books are very dark and gloomy and creepy and therefore are perfect for this week because it's of course nearly Halloween. And then aside from all of the wonderful reading I'm going to be doing, I also really need to figure out what my costume is going to be because one of the other prompts for the readathon is to dress up for our live show, which is this Saturday on Halloween itself. So I really need to figure out who I want to be. I've got a few ideas, some book related, some not book related, and I need to figure out what is feasible and that I can actually put together that looks good, and also just what I actually want to be. So one suggestion that Lucy gave me was to be Gollum, but I'm not sure that that would be very attractive to look at for a full live show, so I might have to go for something a little bit cuter, but we'll have to wait and see. So like I said, it is currently Wednesday. I've just made myself a cup of tea and I'm now on my lunch break from work. In all honesty, what I would love to do right now on my lunch break is sit down with a cup of tea and watch some booktube because I've been catching up on a few videos this morning before work. I made it through a video from Gabby Reads. I also watched one all about horror books from Noelle Gallagher, which I really liked, and then that was a video which was all about her reading Cat from Paperback Dreams' favourite horrors, and now I'm on Kat's channel, so I've fallen down a bit of a booktube wormhole and I'm loving it. But I need to get some reading done, obviously. Like I said, I've got 2 books to finish this week and it's already Wednesday, so as a compromise to myself, I'm going to sit down with my tea and make a start on The Phantom of the Opera for the first half of my lunch break, and then make some toast and watch some booktube for the second half. So without further ado, let's get some reading done. And just like that, another day has passed and it is now Thursday lunchtime. It is a very, very gloomy, rainy October day, which I'm loving, mostly because today is a day where I do not need to leave the house at all. On most other days, even though I'm working from home every day, I end up going out either to go to the gym or to teach a yoga class or something like that. But Thursday is completely an inside day because I teach one yoga class, but it is an online one, which means I can just roll out of bed in the morning, teach the class and then get straight into work and drink lots of hot drinks and enjoy feeling really cozy inside when I know it's really cold and gloomy outside. And then today is an even better day because Jay just came home for lunch and he brought me this, which is a Pret oat milk chai latte, which I'm sure many of you know is my favourite drink ever. I've been missing this because when I was going into work in the office, I was going into York every single day and I made it a little trip into Pret every single lunchtime to get one of these oat milk chais, and it was literally the highlight of my day. But now that I'm working from home, I obviously am not as close to a Pret, so I don't get to go as often, but Jay got me one today and I'm just so happy about it. Chai obviously tastes incredible regardless of what kind of day it is, but there is just something about the like spicy, cinnamony, sweet flavour of like a warm chai latte when it is rainy outside and cold and gloomy. It just feels so cozy and I love it. And I'm very pleased to report that I do actually have something of a reading update to share with you all on The Phantom of the Opera. I'm not gonna lie, when I started this book on my lunch break yesterday, I wasn't sure how I was gonna feel about it. It did not grip me straight away, and honestly it took me a little bit of time to get into it. I'm now 35 pages into this book and it's definitely starting to win me over. I still don't know entirely what direction this book is going to take, but I'm loving it so far, because what I was surprised about was I was expecting it to be a very serious book, and I'm sure there's definitely going to be serious themes, but actually the Phantom, at this point in the book at least, is a really funny character, and this whole concept of this ghost of the opera that no one has ever seen but owning a box in the opera and having to be paid a certain amount by the opera managers is just really funny to me, because it seems so ridiculous and the new managers of the opera equally think it's ridiculous, and yet this opera ghost keeps sending them letters and demanding his payment and his box, and I just think it's really funny. So that was surprising and something I wasn't expecting to find in this book, but it's definitely an element of the book that I'm really enjoying. So I'm going to be reading a little bit more. It's lunchtime again, as I mentioned, so I'm going to do a little bit more reading now as I enjoy my oat milk chai, and I'm hoping to be able to finish this book tomorrow. Although I'm not doing any yoga or gym stuff tonight, I am going to be watching a Christmas film, which I'm very excited about. I'll talk to you more about that later, but that does mean I might not get as much reading done this evening as I might usually. But tomorrow night, Friday night, is completely free, and I'm planning to just have a cozy evening completely dedicated to reading both of the Dark Academics books. So I'll catch up with you later on when I've got some more thoughts on The Phantom of the Opera, but for now, I'm just going to enjoy this drink. So work is finished for the day, which means it is almost time to watch a Christmas film, which I am very, very excited about. I know it's a little bit controversial to watch Christmas films this early on in the year, but it is a tradition in my family. Every October half term, which is what it currently is in the UK, me, my mum and my little sister would always have a Christmas movie day where we'd get loads of snacks and watch Christmas films and just have a really festive day. And it has just always been a tradition that we have loved, and it literally just kickstarts the festive season for me, and I love it so much. So tonight, in honour of that annual tradition, I'm going to be watching the film that is always at the centre of those Christmas movie days, and that is The Holiday. We always think this is like the perfect film for like starting the Christmas season because it's festive, but it's also not like super Christmassy because it's kind of set at Christmas time, but actually the main story is more about romance rather than about Christmas, and so it feels like a really good one to kickstart this time of year, and it is just so funny. I love the cast, especially Jude Law, who is just incredible, but it is just such a great film, and I feel like it's perfect for just like edging your way towards Christmas, whereas something like Elf or Home Alone or The Grinch is like full on December Christmas. So I'm going to be watching The Holiday, drinking some cozy hot drinks, probably eating a lot of good food, and just feeling extremely festive. I know this is kind of like a little bit of a juxtaposition when it's supposed to be a Halloween week, but as much as Halloween is fun, Christmas is where my heart is, and I cannot wait to watch a Christmas film. Hey guys, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like this week has gone so quickly, like literally unbelievably fast. Last week felt very slow, like to the point where I just could not wait for the week to end, but this week honestly has gone so quickly. Today's vlog is going up on Sunday rather than Friday, just because my vlog schedule has been a little bit all over the place because I've had a few special like readathon specific vlogs to go up, so this one has gone up a couple of days later than usual. So as it's Sunday, I hope you have had a wonderful week, and I'd love to know whether your week has gone really quickly like mine or if it's been a bit of a slow one. But actually, in reality, it is still Friday for me, and I just finished work, which means it's the weekend, and I'm very happy about that. I'm so ready for a chilled out weekend. I've already got the candles burning and I am loving all of the cozy vibes. And obviously it is now the 30th of October, so tomorrow is Halloween. And with that being said, I thought I'd do a little reading update on the Phantom of the Opera. I'm over halfway through now. I'm on page 106 and this book has just under 200 pages. So I'm definitely on my way with this one and I'll be finishing it this evening. I'm sad to say though that I'm not loving it. I feel like I'm going to be the odd one out at the Dark Academics live show because I think everyone else loves this book, but it's just not doing it for me, and there's no real particular reason why. I can see why it would appeal to a lot of people because it's very descriptive and mysterious, but in all honesty I just don't care about any of the characters and I don't really know why. So I'm not hating it, it's absolutely fine to get through, but it's also not a book that I'm like obsessed with, and I'm just not really sure why. I'm not really connecting with it, but I'm still going to continue on, of course, because it is a book club pick, and who knows, by the end of the book I might feel a little bit different, but for now I'm just not feeling particularly compelled by the story or the characters. And even though I can sense this really intense sense of mystery around the opera house, it's just not really pulling me in the way that I would have hoped. But I am really happy that I'm almost done with it because it won't take me too long to finish. And I also just feel so cozy today and ready for a full evening of reading, especially after last night watching The Holiday. I just felt so cozy and festive, and it was just absolutely wonderful. So as soon as I finish The Phantom of the Opera, I'm then going to be making a start on one of my all-time favourites, We Have Always Lived in the Castle, and I'm so excited to delve back into that because I just love that book so much. So that's me for now. I'm going to finish my cup of tea, chill out, and then later on today we're actually going to be watching the first episode of the second season of The Mandalorian because that's out on Disney Plus now. So basically I've got a pretty good Friday evening ahead of me and I can't wait. So cheers.
What if the world had more of your smile? What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars. Maybe the birds will sing about your heart. Maybe the trees will whisper the word. Maybe the sun will spread your joy to the ones who lost their hope. Fill my head with roses. I can't help but dream away. Standing on a field with you and flowers everywhere. Maybe there is a star with your...
Good morning guys, happy Saturday, and actually more importantly happy Halloween because it is officially the 31st of October. It is a very gloomy day outside today. It's super windy, very grey, the trees are all yellow and orange and it feels so Halloweeny, which is wonderful. And today is also the day of the Dark Academics Halloween live show, which I'm so excited about. I still need to get my costume together, but I'm pretty excited about the idea that I've settled on, and I'll obviously show that to you later on when I'm actually getting ready. But with the live show in mind, I still have a fair bit of reading to do today. Last night we obviously watched The Mandalorian, which was wonderful. Baby Yoda is just so cute. It's literally ridiculous how cute that character is. It is incredible and massively genius on Disney's part for actually creating a character that cute, because it clearly sells because everyone loves Baby Yoda. I'm also interested to know if any of you guys have also watched the show BoJack Horseman. It's on Netflix. It's actually incredible. It's one of mine and Jay's favourite shows, but the character from BoJack Horseman, Princess Carolyn, well obviously is a voice actor, but the actual actor is in The Mandalorian, and it is so weird because if you've watched BoJack, you'll know that Princess Carolyn has a really distinct voice, and that is just the actress's actual voice. And so when you see the character in The Mandalorian, it is literally just like Princess Carolyn is there, and it's really weird. But it was really fun to watch The Mandalorian, and we also got Papa John's. Well, they got Domino's, I got Papa John's because Papa John's pizza is so incredible. Their vegan cheese is amazing. The Marmite and cheese scrolls that they do are amazing, and I just think that they do vegan pizza so well. And that was basically the perfect start to a Friday evening. And then in other good news, I did officially manage to finish The Phantom of the Opera. Thank God for that. Honestly, I didn't love this book, I'm not gonna lie. I gave it 2 stars. It's just one of those reading experiences where I can't fault the book necessarily. There was nothing particularly wrong with it, it just wasn't the book for me. It didn't grip me necessarily, which was kind of surprising because I do usually love gothic style books, but this one just wasn't particularly enticing or compelling. I will say that the last, say like 40 pages were the most interesting because I feel like it really picked up pace, it got a lot more intense and dramatic, and also we got a lot more of an insight into who the opera ghost actually was, and I think that backstory added a lot more depth to the character and to the storyline in general, so that bit was really good. But on the whole, it just wasn't that exciting for me, and I didn't love it, but I am glad to have finally read it, and I'm really looking forward to the discussion of it later, because sometimes talking about a book with someone else does make you sort of change your opinion and understand it a little bit better. So who knows, I might like raise my rating later on, but as of right now it is 2 stars. And then I did make a brief start on We Have Always Lived in the Castle, which I'm already loving, on the contrary to The Phantom of the Opera, which took me a lot of effort to focus on. As soon as I opened this book and got into this story and was reintroduced to these characters that I already know I love, I was just pulled in completely. I just love it. It's so weird, and like the book that I compare this one to most is Alice in Wonderland, because I feel like it's just very bizarre and otherworldly, and it feels kind of like you've stepped into an alternate universe where you recognize things, but also things are a little bit weird. And there's also just so many like funny quotes and stuff. One that me and Jay, because Jay and I have both read this book, really love is this little one that we always sing, which is, "Mary Cat," said Connie, "would you like a cup of tea? Oh no, Mary Cat, you'll poison me. Mary Cat," said Constance, "would you like to go to sleep? Down in the boneyard 10 feet deep." And we just love that. It's just so like fun and playful, and I just really like it. I think it works really well in the context of this book, and I'm really excited to read the rest of this one later on. I'm just heading out for coffee, surprise surprise, because literally what else do I do with my weekends? But when I get back, I'm definitely going to be reading this book. It is literally only 140 pages long, so it won't take me long to get through it all. I'm currently only 20 pages through, but I find it really quick and easy to get through, so I'm really looking forward to the rest of this read, and I'll catch up with you later on.
One thing I know is that there should be. There is no one who has a heart as pure, no, not like yours. Dreaming of you. Dreaming of you, dreaming of you, dreaming of you.
So I'm home from coffee. It's like 4 o'clock and it's already getting dark. The clocks went back last weekend. I always get confused about whether they go back or forwards, but I think they went back last weekend, and suddenly it was getting dark at like 6 p.m. a few weeks ago, and now it's getting dark at like 4:30, which is wild. And I really feel like every single year the darkness of winter just comes even quicker, and I don't really like it. That's like the one bit about autumn and winter that I don't like, is how dark it is. But regardless, I guess it's fitting for a Halloween evening, and I am ready to get started on my proper dive into We Have Always Lived in the Castle. I feel like earlier, although I told you about one of my favourite quotes, I didn't really give much explanation about what this book is actually about. I love it, but it is kind of an unusual book, so I feel like maybe it isn't for everyone, but honestly I think it's so incredible. It basically focuses on our main character, Mary Cat, which is short for Mary Catherine, and she is 18 years old at the start of the book. She lives alongside her sister Constance and also their uncle Julian. And they are essentially the last 3 surviving members of the Blackwood family, and the rest of the family died in a poisoning incident, which Constance was originally accused of having murdered the family because she cooked the meal that they were all killed with. But as it turns out, she was then acquitted of the crime. But ever since then, they've kind of been like outcast from society. They were already quite reclusive, but now most of society kind of views them as like tainted and dark and evil, and there's a lot of mystery and darkness surrounding actually what happened and who was responsible for this murder. So that's kind of like the mystery surrounding this family, but I wouldn't say that it's a murder mystery book because that doesn't necessarily take up a lot of Mary Cat's time and thinking, and she's actually a character which is really unusual and difficult to pinpoint because she is, like I said, 18, and yet the way that she behaves is very childlike, and there's almost a sense of these three family members being trapped in time around the situation, which obviously led to the loss of the rest of their family, and it's almost like that has halted their progression and development and kind of left them stuck in time. And then a few other things happen which I'm obviously going to explore later on, because although I remember them briefly, this was like a year ago that I last read it, so I'm looking forward to sort of reacquainting myself with these characters, and so I'm going to delve into that now. I need to have some dinner at some point, and then at 7 o'clock I need to get, well, before 7 o'clock I need to get ready, and then it is the live show at 7. So I'll catch up with you later with my thoughts on We Have Always Lived in the Castle. Before which though, is this not just like the most beautiful book cover ever? I love it.
I'm dreaming of you, I'm dreaming of you, I'm dreaming of you. What if the world had more of your smile? What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars. Dreaming of you. Dreaming of you. Dreaming of you.
So I finished my read of one of my favourite books ever, We Have Always Lived in the Castle. This was my second read of this book, and I just enjoyed it even more this time. It was undoubtedly a 5-star read for me. It was just so incredible. It is a really interesting book, and also if you are someone who likes atmosphere and darkness but doesn't like being scared, then this is a book that I would highly recommend to you, because it is really sinister and dark and really creepy and creates an incredible atmosphere around the characters in it, but there's no part where I felt like it was scary or it really dealt with anything that would be particularly terrifying. And so I feel like this is a really great book for anyone who just likes that atmosphere, because it does it so well. It's such an interesting book because it partners quite a childlike narrative in the sense that our protagonist feels like a woman trapped in a state of childlikeness, and it's also very playful, adds in elements of song, and it's just really light-hearted in certain elements, and yet you also have this really dark undertone where there is this kind of unsolved murder and unspoken darkness surrounding this family, and I think it just marries together those two very disparate things so well in a way that creates this incredibly unsettling atmosphere, and I just think it's such an incredible book. So I'd highly recommend this one, and I'm so glad that I got to read it and then discuss it for the Dark Academics book club, because it was so fun to hear everyone else's thoughts, and I just loved it so much. So I did actually just get off of the live show, and as you can see from my outfit, my paper boat, and also this red balloon floating behind me, I decided to dress up as Georgie from Stephen King's It, which is a book that I'm yet to read, but more about that in just a moment, because I thought I'd also conclude the Dark Academics Halloweenathon. So I've got in here the bingo board. I'll pop it up on the screen for you to see, but I thought now that it is the end of the readathon because it finishes today, I might as well go through and let you know which prompts I actually managed to complete. So some of them I did complete last week because it was a 2-week long readathon, and those prompts were to read a gothic novel because I read Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, also to watch a spooky book movie adaptation because I watched the new Netflix movie adaptation of Rebecca, and it was really fun to both read and watch that book/film in the same week and compare the two experiences. And then, as something that I've basically done all the time because I love sweet things, I've done plenty of trick or treat, make myself something sweet, because I make so many hot drinks, all of which are super sweet and delicious, and I have a great time doing it. So definitely will be continuing that even though it's not Halloween anymore, because I just love sweet drinks. And then moving on to this week, where I've tackled the larger amount of prompts. First up, we had to read the group books, which obviously, as you can tell from the fact that that's what this vlog has been all about, I managed to do, and it was really, really fun to read both of the books and just see how I had such different experiences with both of them, and it was really nice to discuss them with all of the other people in the book club and everyone who joined us for the live show, because it was a really, really fun live show. Next up is read by candlelight. Now, I have had candles going in the bedroom pretty much all October because I love autumn candles, so I haven't specifically sat down and read next to a candle, but I have had lots of candles going whilst I've been reading, so I'm gonna count that one. Next up, we have to dress up for the live show, which clearly I did, and I'm really happy with the outfit that I chose. Then we have to read a book with a supernatural theme. I think both of these books definitely contend with the supernatural. There's a subtle theme of witchcraft and magic and nature, sort of themed magic in We've Always Lived in the Castle, and this one is obviously about a phantom, and there's sort of like the theme of the opera ghost, so definitely dealt with the supernatural. Then we have do a Halloween activity. Now, I'm going to class reading all of these quite dark books as Halloweeny activities. Haven't done anything super Halloweeny, but I'm going to count that because it's been really fun, and also dressing up is a Halloween activity as well. And then finally, we had to read a book with a dark cover. Now, you can double up on all of these prompts, and for me, the thing that actually originally made me want to pick up this book was the dark cover, and that is We Have Always Lived in the Castle. Like I said earlier, I'm obsessed with the cover of this book. It is so extremely beautiful and enticing, and dark is definitely the way to describe this one, because you have this mob on the back, and then you have these very frightened looking main characters, and of course, just in terms of the palette, it is obviously a black and white cover, so this one definitely fits that prompt. So I'm very pleased to say that at the end of this 2-week Halloween readathon, I did manage to tick off all of the prompts, and it was really, really fun. I'd love to know if you managed to take part in the Dark Academics Halloween readathon, how many of the prompts that you managed to take off, and which books you read and what you thought of them, because I'd love to know. But then returning back to my outfit, I have been very much inspired by this outfit, by a few videos that I've watched, and just by my own personal desire to finally get on with it, to pick up Stephen King's It, and that is what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my Halloween. However, this book is a hell of a chunky book. It is over 1,000 pages long, and let's see exactly, it is 1,067 pages long, so quite a big book. And for that reason, this book is definitely getting its own dedicated reading vlog, because I have a feeling I'm going to have a lot of thoughts, and I just feel like it's going to be fun to do a full vlog dedicated to this book. So with that being said, I'm going to head off and read some of Stephen King's It and kickstart that reading experience, but I'll leave today's vlog here. So I really hope you enjoyed hearing my thoughts on The Phantom of the Opera, as well as We Have Always Lived in the Castle, as much as I enjoyed reading them. And thank you so much for watching, and especially thank you if you did manage to take part in the Halloween readathon, because we loved having so many of you take part along with us. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.